So welcome back. In the last video you saw me put that crankcase together. So since we're putting new pistons in, it comes with circlips, new piston wrist pins, new and piston rings. These are, I'll show you how to, I guess, check to make sure that everything should work okay. These are nice in that they're labeled. This is the first ring, this is the second one. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of got a groove on it. That's how you can tell, well, that would be the top one. But it also says that on here. These are the SPI piston kits for this Trailfire LX, which is a 440 engine. But what you're gonna wanna do is take and put your first ring in the bottom here, and he'll squish together like that. And then you'll take your piston, and this is to make sure he's flat in your bore, and push him all the way up. And see how I just caught that there? That's what would happen if you did not have your piston rings in the little locking groove that's in these pistons. There's right there, you can see there's a little groove that they lock into, this little part right here. When it squishes down, keeps it from rotating. If you didn't have that, it would get caught up on your ports, and then you would catch it and destroy your ring. And so at this point, what you're going to do is, it's in there flat. You'd probably want it up a little more at the top of the cylinder, right about there. What you're going to do is take your feeler gauge, which I don't have one currently that's this small, but my specs say that it should be 2 thousandths to 3.5 thousandths of an inch as a new part. So then what you'd do is you'd take I would take my 3.5, I'd take probably 2 or 3, one of them, I mean, you've got two choices there, feeler gauge, and then you just, right in this end of the gaps there, and you'd want it to lightly drag. So we're just going to call them good, since I don't have one. And then what we're going to do is take and install them on our piston. I guess we'll do the second one here. So you guys see that. And these pistons are directional. So you got caught up again. There we go. So we do that too. Make sure there's a little clearance. I am, at least. Alright, he looks good. Okay. Just dropping everything. Okay. We'll get this guy out of the way. You're gonna take, so this is the second ring, it says. And it does say that this is the top end of it. So we're gonna take him and like so. Learning right along with me. I've never done new pistons. And these things. There we go. There you can see seated in. And he's got a little spring to him. So then right there's his locking, and he'll go in like that. For the top one, same sort of shit. This should be a little easier because he's on the top though. Right on there, yeah. That one was a lot easier. And it's weird because they both have a locking pin, but they're offset. So, as far as that goes, that's not too bad. Okay, so that's that cylinder. And we'll take and get our wrist pin out. Oh, before we get our wrist pin, I'm gonna put a circlip in. And you gotta watch these little bastards, because they will fly. And good luck. These aren't the kind that I really like. The kind that are nice have, basically they turn back up and then you can just grab them with your pliers. And so this is front, we'll push in from the outside here. You can grab them with your pliers and they just, they're so much nicer. These guys you gotta pry in. And I'm gonna get a screwdriver. Do this, set them on top like that. This is high risk, high reward though, because what you're essentially doing is compressing the spring. But if you don't get this on just right, she's just gonna fly everywhere. And I went too far. Get them right down in that groove. Always keep a finger on it. That way if it just so happens to fly out somewhere, well, at least maybe you've got a chance of catching it. See, that one didn't work. Down too deep. These things just love to sail though. And if you think it's hard doing it on the bench like this, just wait till you get it in the engine. And you gotta do the other side. No good. The one thing you don't want to do is score that up, because that's where that wrist pin is going to sit. These are the pain in the ass ones. I wish they came with new, or the old other style. Oh, I might have gotten it. There we go, and he's in. Well, that was minimal fuss. So then at this point, what you're gonna do is take your wrist pin, if you're still watching here, and just place it in this side. It should be a pretty tight press fit. And sometimes what you got to do is warm up your cylinder here with your hands. Just that little bit of expansion will make it so much easier. Probably doesn't help that I'm out in the shop and it's about 40 degrees out right now, but it's the way that it is. And you don't want to go too far with it. You just kind of want to get them started. Because essentially what's going to end up happening is you're going to put your rod bearings, which are right here. I got Weisco ones. They're going to sit right in there on your connecting rod. And then you have to try and finagle this rod through there on the engine and line this up. And that's pretty tight. So that's how you put together a new piston. I'll do the other one too, get that ready, and then I'll show you putting them on the engine, I guess. Maybe one of them, if I want to fight it that much.